Hey, how's it hanging? Yeah, we know. On our play for this week, turns out the PS5 Pro was in fact targeted at hardcore users and not the casuals. Hmm. Game Pass allowed you to demo Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and that was a success. Well, for now. And the Trump tariffs will make gaming worse for all. All this and more on Season 8, Episode 45 of Press X Start Gamers Digest. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. If you know what that is, you are old. Congratulations. This is. Oh, yeah. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, aka. I'm tired. I'm just tired. Been tired for the last, 5 days or so. I wonder why. I am joined by. Oh, you muted. You muted.
Sean
Hey, guys,
M.F.
everything's fine.
Ross.
There we go. What does the MNF stand for?
Sean's dead. Working with London's dead.
Facts. Well, yes. Now you know who we are. If you don't know by now, then watch the old stuff so you know who we are by now. Cool. This is Press X Start Gamers Digest, a video podcast that condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube every Sunday. We made it this time. What we can, because life is hard.
But listening to us is easy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell. If you are listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the podcast service you're currently tuned in on. And if you want, you can join our conversation by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. All right. With that out the way, let us jump into the gaming news with number 1. PS5 Pro price has not had a negative impact on sales, says Sony boss from Eurogamer.net. By way of, I think this is Vicky Blake. Yes, that is right. Vicky Blake. Sony says that despite the different comments on the PS5 Pro's chunky price point, the pricing has not had a negative impact on sales. As spotted by Genki_JPN on Twitter, or X on Twitter. Sony president, COO, and CFO Hiroki Totoki said that the system was targeted at hardcore users and not casual players. Hardcore users are, this is a quote, hardcore users are the target of this hardware, Totoki said. In terms of pricing, many people made different comments on that, but pricing on the PS5 Pro has not had a negative impact, I don't think. Okay, so this is pretty much what people are reacting off of the comments made by Totoki. Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about that. Sean, you said it a bunch of times that the PS5 Pro is going to be a niche hardware for the hardcore consumers. It's not meant for everybody, right? So yeah,
I can say all these things until my face is blue. Like everything is for everybody. Like we got
exactly.
this fear of FOMO. That's a double whatever. Well, everybody has FOMO and they feel like they need everything that gets put out. And you don't need every accessory, everything. Mind you, I did buy one. Kind of.
Hey guys,
I kind of got it for free. Kind of got it for free, kind of, but that one.
I'm also Sean. I got connections.
You got one?
No, I don't got one. No.
Oh, okay.
And not yet. But I actually had a conversation with Shireen, my wife, about that because as you know, we exist.
I gotta play my PS4 Gundam in 4K 60 frames a second, even though
it's not even that. It's because we're gonna talk about it later on. But the whole like Trump tariff stuff, if that takes place, things are gonna go up. So it's like, in a way,
maybe you don't need to buy it now just because it might go up in price.
But in a way, the 700 price tag is kind of a discount right now. It's kind of a discount.
It's not a sale if you weren't planning on buying it to begin with. Whatever. Move on. Moving on.
So yeah. I mean, this is kind of, Totoki just coming out and saying the thing that we all said, which is true, that like as Sean said, not everything is for everybody. Like the PS5 is doing very well. Actually, it is doing, what's the number? I think it's like 65 million units sold well. So a lot of people have the PS5 Pro, and it is the PS5. I'm sorry, a lot of people have the PS5 base model, not Pro.
Mm.
But it is from that figure that we will have people move up and upgrade, like you did, Sean, who are going to get the PS5 Pro. There's also going to be people who still have the PS4, and
Mhm.
they're going to use this as a way to jump. I
Why
guess
not? I mean,
basically, skip a
or this
level.
helps them make their decision whether or not they were waiting for a Pro to come out.
Yeah, right. And then on top of that, like we're going to talk about it, like GTA 6 is going to be coming out. It's supposed to be coming out next year, and we also talked about that being a very big seller. Like Sony's going to be able to market that you could play GTA 6 on the most powerful console available right now, kind of thing. So it kind of works where we have the first wave of people buying into the PS5 Pro, and then probably next year, this time, we're going to have another big wave of people buying into that just because of GTA 6. So, yeah, that's cool. That's all good news. Just to read on further, as I mentioned, the sale of Sony's PS5 console have now passed 65 million units. Sony says the growth in its games and network service division can be attributed to rising sales of its third-party games, DLC, and PlayStation Plus subscriptions. 131.3 million games shipped in the first half of the fiscal year, which is a weird figure. It's like sold through, or is it just like shipped
Yeah. So,
still on, But I think we can almost assume that the 131.3 million figure is sold through, because usually when a brick and mortar store asks for a number of copies from a game, they're pretty sure they're going to sell through those units, unless like something happens and no one wants to buy the game or whatever. Concord. Um,
mm,
so of that 131.3 million units, 11.3 were first party games, which is a very, very low figure. But again, Sony did come out at the start of the year saying, like, hey, we're not going to have any big first party games drop this year. So have fun. So of the 11.3 million units, 1.5 million of those alone was Astrobot. So that tells us how much Astrobot sold, which is fine. It's not great, but I think Astrobot will probably get a boost in the holiday season, just because
yeah.
it is very much a like family friendly game. It is a game that you can buy for your kids and not worry about hidden tones or like blood or violence or anything like that. So it'll probably get a little bit boost. So that's fine. And then I also believe the conversation about Astrobot was that they were expecting a longer tail with that game. So we'll see this time next year how it's doing, or even if PlayStation even talking about it, because they made Astrobot 2 or something. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Any final thoughts on this?
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like it seems that based off of how Hiroki Totoki is talking about this, the PS5 Pro is in a good place. We'll see come next month's Circana reports to see how hardware is doing and seeing if the PS5 Pro actually moved the needle for that figure. But yeah, speaking of moving the needle, actually, not really moving the needle. This is an interesting one. Lack of PS5 Pro shortage means some scalpers are reselling at a loss. This comes to us from VGC by way of, I think, yeah, Chris Scullion. So this is a funny story where scalpers thought, hey, I'm going to jump the gun and buy PS5 Pros and have them sell like hotcakes, like the PS5, not understanding what the
The
difference
supply
between the
chain is
Pro.
fine now.
Yeah, the supply chain is fine, and it's that the PS5 Pro, as you said earlier, is not for everybody. So not everyone's going to flock to get this thing. And as you mentioned, the supply chain is fine. So there's tons of them on the shelves that people can just go and buy one and don't have to go spend extra money. So
Mm.
that's good. It's really good to see that these scalpers are like they kind of shot themselves in the foot. Now they have to deal with their supply of consoles and are marking them down. So awesome.
Mm.
Um, they talk about like how much money they're marketing down for, but it really doesn't matter because you can just go anywhere and buy a Pro if you want. So better luck the next time, scalpers. Number 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 dev says Game Pass helped convince people who were on the fence to try the game. But now the challenge is to convince them to stick around. This comes to us from IGN by way of, I think this is Wesley Engel. Am I correct on my guess? We will find out in a second as this thing. Yep, Wesley Engel. So let me because it's just a lot of stuff, and that was not saved. Perfect. So yes, as the title suggests, the inclusion of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on Game Pass has allowed people to jump into the game through Game Pass, try it out, and I guess I'm not exactly sure how this was recorded, but
Mhm.
I guess the idea is that people tried it out and they stuck with it, and that's why they see the massive jump in these numbers of people playing the game and stuff. Um, I mean that's probably true. The only thing that I do want to note and give context to is that, and people they're not really talking about this, but like they are comparing these figures with last year's Call of Duty, which last year's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was probably the weakest out of maybe all of the Call of Duties, or
Yeah.
actually probably not as weak as like Advanced
I mean,
Warfare or
in
whatever.
recent history, we
In
have
recent, yeah,
almost we're closing in on 20 years of Call of Duty pretty soon,
exactly, yeah,
if not longer than that. But that was basically a DLC. I mean, you have different camps of people who prefer Modern Warfare over Black Ops. It's a bunch of different variables going into it.
exactly, yeah. And it is the fact that like Black Ops has been pretty much waiting to show face for a while now. And it's that on top of comparing these numbers with one of the worst Call of Duties to launch in recent time. And it's like, yeah, these are doing great, but I think like the numbers are showing you're doing great, at least from what Microsoft is telling us, not necessarily showing us the actual numbers. But it is a thing of like, okay, we know what the Call of Duty like ebb and flow is. So are those numbers, are those people still going to be on by December or by January? And it's like that's going to be the big trial for game or Call of Duty on Game Pass, to see like getting that first wave of Game Pass signups is great, but if you lose it in 3 months and it's just like, okay, well, they actually save money by spending $20 on Call of Duty and not buying the game outright. But like that is the thing of we won't know that until later on, or we won't know that until next year if they drop Call of Duty on Game Pass again, or if they just have it be a thing where you just have to buy it.
Yeah.
So it's just all a bunch of speculations. But good job, Treyarch. Good job, Activision, which more so Treyarch than Activision on making Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and it's doing well on Game Pass. Anything else I wanted to mention about this? I don't think so. I think that is pretty much it. All right. So number 3, Trump's proposed tariffs will hit gamers hard. This comes to us from Gizmodo. Did you see those numbers? uh yeah. So this comes to us from Gizmodo by way of Matt Gallant. I believe it's Gallant. So, yes, if you've been under a rock the past, I don't know, 3 months, 2 or 5 days or whatever, or if you are a time traveler and you're listening to this in like 2028 or 2026 or whatever, yes, Trump has, as we know, won the election, and he has mentioned a bunch of stuff of what he's going to do. And one of those things is this tariff that he wants to put on essentially everything. And that is supposed to make things cheaper for us, even though everyone's saying that actually that's not how that's going to work. So, this is a quote. Across the board, the tariffs will cause significant price increase. Actually, no, let me back up. Let me back up one paragraph. The study looked at 10 different consumer tech products: smartphones, laptops, connected devices, video game consoles, and various computer accessories. According to the study, a tariff on electronics from China would have the immediate effect of spiking prices and the long term effect of driving manufacturers to other countries. Critically, though, those other countries would not be the United States. It's still too expensive to make stuff in America and keep costs down. So this is a quote. According to the board, the tariffs would cause significant price increase for U.S. customers. The study said the CTA estimated that that laptop and tablet costs would go up by 46%. That's almost 50%. Smartphones would go up by 26%. Video game consoles would spike 40%. Hey, if you are thinking about getting the PS5 Pro, get it before this tariff stuff hit, okay? Because if you thought 700 was expensive, when it's 1,300, that's even more expensive. So this kind of increase would put the cost of the forthcoming PS5 Pro at just under $1,000. Okay, so my math was terrible. I should just read along instead of just making math up.
Trying to do math.
I know, right? At a top of the line GPU, the kind used for AI and gaming could bloat from around $900 to $1,300. The price of monitors would go up $109. That $9 though, man. Jeez. Desktops would go up around $74, which is not bad overall. And headphones could cost an extra $35. Huh. That's interesting how skewed those numbers are, but I guess it's built off of calculations and Excel files or Excel sheets that I don't know. Yeah. CTA Vice President of International Trade, Ed. Ooh, that is a last name. Breezewa stressed that the damage tariffs would have on consumers in an interview with Tom's Hardware. Tariffs are regressive taxes that Americans pay. They're not paid by foreign government. They're taxes that importers in the U.S. pay, and foreign governments in foreign countries do not pay those tariffs. So when I say they're regressive, it means that they harm poor people and people of little means more than they harm wealthy people. Yeah.
Fortunately,
this sucks.
I just got a new phone last month. I just got a PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
I'm good for a while.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, our cycle, we got our phones last year, I think. So we probably won't be getting a new phone until like 2027, probably.
After he's out.
Huh?
After he's on his way out.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, like, the hope, the prayer, the hold your hands together and tape them around is that Trump is talking this stuff and he actually can't get this through or whatever. But it's kind of easy to do that when you have control of the government. So it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. We don't know how badly, but if these numbers are the case, it's gonna suck by at least 40%. So I guess save your money now and hope for the best. But you know what? I will say, I wonder how this will affect Game Pass, because even if Xbox is like, all right, well, we got to raise Game Pass by like, let's say $10, so it's $30 a month.
Yeah.
That ends up being a very good deal if those tariffs affects game prices. Although the report didn't call out video game software, it only focused on hardware. I don't know if it's going to affect the software or not, but if it does, like, I think that can make Game Pass a more alluring subscription to join on, because as it is right now, Game Pass offers more games steadily than the PS5 or the PlayStation Plus subscription. So that could be a thing to watch for. But again, I don't really know how this is going to work out. No one really knows how it's going to work out because we are here and not there. So I think that's how time works. Hey, let us know your thoughts on the PS5 Pro. If you are one of those hardcore gamers like Sean that bought it, or one of those casuals like me for now who have not bought it. Are you playing Call of Duty 6? Let us know. Let us know. And then what is your feelings on the I don't really. Hey man, we're all tired, all right? If you're gonna be commenting in this stuff about, oh, Trump won, blah blah blah, I don't want to hear that. Let us know your thoughts on the whole tariffs thing, because that's going to literally affect everybody. All right. With that being said, hey, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. Do that. If you're listening, please leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever service you're currently tuned in on, and join our Discord. It's cool. We still have fun. We're actually talking, or a good portion of us is playing Pokemon TCG Pocket. So we've been showing the cards that we got or whatever, and I've currently got nothing to show. So that's fun. Number 4. Speaking of nothing to show, psych, GTA 6 gets encouraging development update. This comes to us from Game Rant by way of, oh, this thing is loading, Daniel Morris. Okay. So, Take-Two Interactive has confirmed that GTA 6 is still set for release in fall 2025. All right. With the game remaining on track to make the window that was initially confirmed earlier this year. Although some had feared GTA 6 would slip into 2026, that was a rumor. Take-Two Interactive has confirmed that this isn't the case at the present moment. At the present moment. Hopefully that sticks. Yeah, and that next paragraph is pretty much that's the thing. This is good news. People are hoping, people are speculating that with this news, could we see Take-Two drop some kind of trailer for the game or something? I don't think
they operate on their own time frame.
Exactly.
People need to stop thinking.
Exactly. I think the earliest we'll see something would be like maybe like next year, March or something, just to be like, hey guys, it's happening. Like, I can see them do next year, March, with a release window at the end of the trailer saying like fall 2025, or like maybe a month, like November 2025 or whatever. And that will give enough time to the rest of the industry to plan accordingly. Don't plan any games for at least for a month after that release date, if you want to sell anything. But yeah, I mean, this is cool. Like, this is good news. There was the fear that it could come in 2026, and that would have sucked, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case anymore for right now. A little addition to this, this is also Take-Two. Take-Two is selling its indie game label private division. This comes to us from The Verge by way of Umar Shakir.
Yep, all that.
Look at that. I just nailed that one. Not really. Take-Two Interactive is selling off its indie games label private division, with published titles such as The Outer Worlds and Ali Ali World, following rumors over the summer that Take-Two laid off most of Private Division staff. Take-Two did not disclose the buyer of Private Division or how much they paid. There was an email sent. We're going to skip that. According to Bloomberg, The label had been plagued by a string of flops, including Kerbal Space Program 2, which was full of bugs and panned by fans. Private Division games, including the upcoming Lord of the Rings Farm Simulator, Tales of the Shire. Oh, I forgot about that. As well as Pokemon developer Game Freak's untitled game known as Project Bloom, will move over to the new buyer. However, Private Division's buyer won't get the rights to No Rest for the Wicked. Um, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick said that they're going to name the buyer soon. I don't know why they're being so shady about this, unless
Yeah.
it's like, unless it's like Nintendo or something.
Nah,
But
I
it
don't
wouldn't be.
see.
No. Yeah, they wouldn't take a risk like that. Yeah, so yeah, it's a weird, I don't know. So I guess we'll find out. I mean, it could be like a Game Awards thing. I don't even think that's whatever. This is probably just going to be outside of media. It's probably going to be some corporation or whatever. But yeah, that sucks for the people that's going to be affected by this. Hopefully, the new buyer is a gracious one and won't just like start cutting people to reduce headcount and then expect them to make games like they normally do. But we'll see. Again, that is going to be for the future to hold and cuddle. Number 5. Sega sells off studio behind Endless Legends and Humankind as part of a restructuring, but is going to the original owners. This comes to us from Rock Paper Shotgun by way of, wait for it, Brandon Caldwell. Amplitude Studio, developer of many games with Endless in the name, have split with publisher Sega to become independent again, with with ownership of the studio reverting to its original founders and other members of the team. The developers say everyone is parting on good terms, and that the last 8 years of getting published under Sega has been amazing. But there are other businessy reasons, of course. Namely, Sega has been trying to trim down their European studios for the past year, and Amplitude is just one of the latest bunch of developers affected by that. To give you some context, Sega has been restructuring their European game studios since around September 2023, amidst other layoff hijinks in the US. This has meant layoffs at Creative Assembly and the sale of Relic, Studio, developer of World War II strategy game Company of Heroes 3. Today's management buyout of Amplitude, which seems the studio handing back to the original owners, is just another step in that process, it seems. So yeah, it sucks, but I think this is kind of the best kind of thing that could happen for a
Outcome if
studio.
they're letting go of the
Yeah,
studio. Yeah, they didn't get shut down. They didn't get laid off completely. Like, yeah.
right. I mean, the only problem is that we know how expensive it is to make games in today in this current industry. So it's like it's great that they got their stuff, their IPs back, and they're able to do what they want, but it is going to be hard for them. So the hope is that they can possibly get a publisher or figure that out and able to
Or
survive essentially.
self-publish.
Yeah, or self-publish, you're right. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Again, we'll see. Everything's in the future. Number 6 was not in the future. Death Stranding IP now belongs to Kojima Productions. This comes to us from Insider Gaming by way of, I think this is Tom Henderson. Is this Tom Henderson? Tom Henderson. Nailed it. Oh, okay. Following the announcement that a Death Stranding Director's Cut will be coming to Xbox. By the way, Death Stranding Director's Cut is coming to Xbox.
No, it's already there. They already shadow dropped it.
Oh, is it? Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're right. They did. Yeah. Kojima Productions has also announced that Death Stranding IP now belongs to the developer. The announcement, which came via Automation Media, reads: In addition, Kojima Productions announced that the IP for this work will belong to the studio. They said that they will continue to connect more fans around the world in various forms of entertainment, movies. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is scheduled to release for the PS5 in 2025. However, recent news could suggest that the game could launch day one on the Xbox and PC platforms. 2, if PlayStation didn't get some form of marketing exclusivity. Regardless, today's announcement of Death Stranding director's cut on Xbox suggests that Death Stranding 2 will eventually be released on Xbox and PC. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's more power to Kojima and his team for being able to decide what they want to do with their games. I think the Death Stranding 2 thing, I would imagine the deals have already been signed for Death Stranding 2 on the beach, unless PlayStation was like, yeah, sure, you could put that out
We'll never.
on
We
the
won't
other
know.
consoles.
We won't know.
Yeah. I mean, we won't know until Death Stranding 2 comes out and it's either on the just on PlayStation. Oh, wait, what just happened? What? Wait a minute. We still good? Okay, we're still good. Okay. That was weird. Yeah, we won't know until we know, which is in the future. Because everything is going to happen in the future, good or bad. All right, that's it for the big stuff. Let us jump into the quick hits. Number 7. Nintendo next generation is off to a great start. This comes to us from the Verge. Basically, Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have backwards compatibility. That's great. That's what they need to do. I am hoping that more good news will follow about the Switch 2, and we'll see it whenever they're ready. Next year, December. I don't know. We'll see. They've been pretty cheeky about dropping little hints of what the Switch 2 is going to be like without giving us an actual release date or anything. And that article came to us by Andrew Webster. Number 8, a Hogwarts Legacy 2 update with a surprising link to the Harry Potter HBO show. This comes to us from Forbes by way of course, Paul Tassi. Yeah, WB is going to be working on the sequel to Hogwarts Legacy, which is going to be Hogwarts Legacy 2. And it is
because I thought they felt like it didn't make enough money or some shit. Didn't we report something like that?
No, I think they were talking about other games and not Hogwarts. I think
Quidditch, yeah,
yeah, Quidditch, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. Like Hogwarts is selling unbelievably well, even to this date. It came out last year. So it makes sense that they'll do a sequel. And I think they should. Like, I think that game, for what it was, and it's tried its best to remove itself from the Harry Potter lore stuff. It was a good game. I never finished it because I jumped to other games that was, more calling to me, but like I didn't regret my time playing it. And then there's supposed to be links between this Hogwarts Legacy game, the Hogwarts Legacy 2 game, with the HBO series. So cool, I guess. We'll see. I mean, I think I'm cautiously down for a Harry Potter HBO show, even though it is tied to J.K. Rowling and she's just a horrible monster. Yes, I understand that part, but like, yeah. What are you looking at? What are you seeing? You see something interesting?
Quick hit, not quick hit. Online Safety Act is going to prevent Australians that are under 16 from accessing online platforms, including YouTube, and by definition, extend as far as PlayStation Network and Xbox Live.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. No, wait, Albanese? Australian, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll bring you more of that next week, more than likely.
Okay. That's interesting. Number 9. Call of Duty Mobile passes 1 billion downloads. This comes to us from Engadget by way of Marlena Moon. Cool name. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a game that continues to I guess keep getting downloaded.
I mean, I played it for a little while. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But apparently it's going to be phased out in favor of Warzone Mobile, so whatever. But
okay, yeah.
Call of Duty Mobile was cool.
Yeah, but Call of Duty Mobile came out in 2019.
this is also why I don't like to buy goddamn microtransactions. They push microtransactions so hard in that game, and
It's gonna be
it
gone.
says it's gonna be phased out in favor of Warzone Mobile, but all your wild ass,
Probably
I don't know
not.
what you want to call it. Yeah, like just all the skins and stuff that they have. Because they had some really wild stuff for sale
Mm-hmm.
in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's gonna transfer over.
Yeah. And I, as much as I'm like, oh, I don't like Black Ops or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? The biggest sin that Activision has done to me and my soul
Yeah.
was launch the Gundam skins from Modern Warfare 3, and they're like, yep, enjoy it while you have it now for a couple months because Black Ops, none of them skins transfer over. So I'm like, why am I even playing this game? I can't believe you, Activision. Terrible. Give me my money back. All right. And the last quick hit of the day, number 10, Mass Effect TV series is in the works from at Amazon from Fast and Furious 9 writers. Comes to us from Verity.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, by way of Joe Otterson. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Are you excited about this?
I know Jordan is, but
Yeah,
I don't care about Mass Effect. I probably should.
I'm I'm going to
Like,
talk about it in what we've been playing section, but I I think Baldur's Gate 3
yeah, had an
done
effect.
has had such an effect on like other RPGs and like how we define good writing and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't like BioWare is not the BioWare that, you know, was BioWare at peak during the Mass Effect times. Or even
Yeah.
Dragon Age Inquisition was good as well. And like, I don't I feel like this might be too late for a Mass Effect game.
Sometimes you're weighed down by your past success, and you're trying to top it or build upon when sometimes you need to
Yeah.
throw it all away and start fresh.
Yeah.
This came out on 360 in '07. I'm thinking, did I have one yet? I don't. But I just never got into Mass Effect, so
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I played Mass Effect 2. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun game,
Mhm.
but I I feel like I am so far removed from that series that
Yeah.
it's just like I don't even like most of the stuff. Even if they do like a Shepherd storyline, it's gonna feel new to me because I'm just like I don't remember any of these people. Like I remember the alien guy. I remember Jack. She was experimented on, and Kroger. No, not Kroger.
Okay,
Whatever
Roger.
that whatever the dinosaur looking dude guy was. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like, all right. Oh, and the science alien guy. He reminded me of Bill Nye, but as an alien. Um, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see again. I just keep saying that because I just feel like that's where everything's at. We'll see. If it even happens, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, but that's it for the quick hits. Let us jump into what we have been playing. All right. I see we both have been playing a game called Pokemon TCG Pocket. I had talked a little bit about it last week, I think. So, Sean, this is your go.
This
How
is
is your
Weenie Hut
talk?
Jr. Pokemon trading card game, digital Weenie Hut Jr. Like
Oh my gosh.
I'm playing it just 'cause I mean it's something to do on the phone from time to time. But no, this is PCG for casuals, like super casuals, and people
I
who are
think you're
willing to
right.
spend money.
Yeah. I totally I think this game is supposed to be built for the
Mhm.
people who have not played TCG and don't don't well, I'm not going to say they don't want a challenge, but I think
Uh-huh.
this game is kind of suppressing the like strategy by like kind of making things pretty more simple to do, which
You're punished for getting the first turn for one.
yes.
Um, I haven't seen all the cards, but like I don't see a lot of like trainer cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Like with a deck of only 20, it's and you're only knocking out 3 Pokemon. They wanted to speed up the game for more people to get into it. I don't know what the numbers are looking like,
hmm
you know,
Well,
for them to
what we
feel like
know,
they need to have done this.
we know that like it's been downloaded 10 million times. Like that's the only figure we know
I
about the
don't mean
game.
that. I don't mean that. I mean the franchise of Pokemon TCG overall. I don't know if the
Oh, I see.
numbers have been down and they felt like they need to get more engagement from it because
I see.
it's a long. It's not even that long, but I mean, it's more of a longer form game than what TCG is. You're only
Yeah.
knocking out 3 of your opponent's Pokemon, or maybe 2 if you're using an EX, because then you'll
hmm
get 2 points for knocking them out.
Yeah.
It's okay if you want to take a gander. Just don't get sucked in by the microtransactions. Granted, as much as I resist, as much as you resist, they still got whales out there, and
Of course. Of course.
microtransactions are here to stay for the foreseeable future
Yeah.
because people want free shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Eh,
I think you are totally accurate. Like I'm I am like level, I think 14 or whatever.
mhm.
And right now there is an event that do I need to explain? No, I don't need to explain Pokemon TC. It's a Pokemon card game. If you played Pokemon in the game, it's basically something not really that, but close similar to that, where you have the same
Yeah,
Pokemon like out of the deck of like, I don't know, 200, 250 cards, whatever they have provided for you that you can, find in packs or whatever. Maybe about 15% of those cards actually have abilities that do stuff other than damage, which I think sucks. But yeah, it's a card game you play online. I'm at level like 14 or something like that,
yeah,
and there's a event happening right now where you have to do the online battles. So you're just battling random people online, and it is it is hard to not say that this game is pay to win because even with brilliant strategy, you're still gonna get done up by a card that can do 200 damage to you,
mhm.
or a card that can attack your backline, your benched Pokemon, and just do damage to them. So like you can't really do anything about it. And I've experienced playing a couple of decks that had like these kind of setups,
Yeah,
and the cards that are really functioning in that way are the EX variants of the normal cards. And those EX cards are the rare drops. They're hard to get.
yeah,
So if you pump money into the game, you get a bunch of booster packs, your chances of getting one of those EX cards
yeah. I've
increases.
seen some doing like 150 to 200 damage while also healing himself with each attack. It's just
Yeah. And it's like stuff like that doesn't feel fair because it's just like, okay, well, there is absolutely nothing I could do about this. And I think when it comes to stuff like that, cards need to be balanced. Maybe it can be
yeah,
balanced in a way of those underperforming cards get brought up. Maybe they do a little bit more damage. Maybe they have a little bit more health. Maybe they have like abilities attached to them that aren't as OP as like the EX abilities or something. But to me, it just feels like there needs to be some sort of balance to the game. Like right now, my main deck I'm using is the Pikachu EX deck.
hmm,
And if you don't know what that is, Pikachu EX had, and I haven't spent any money on this game. I got the Pikachu EX off of a random booster pack or whatever. But Pikachu EX will do 30 30 extra damage for each electric Pokemon you have in your backline, which you get a maximum of 3. So I can do 90 damage each hit.
hmm,
And it works. It works. And it's a thing of like, I can tell when, other than a person's level, I can tell when people are new to the game just because the cards they use. And it's just like, oh, I feel bad, but I'm trying to win this stuff so I can get this freaking ribbon or whatever. But yeah, it is a thing of like, unfortunately, I compare it to Marvel Snap because that's the card game that I've been playing for the longest time, and it's hard to kind of go back to what like base Marvel Snap was. But I think I would say Marvel Snap is a better card game just because there's more strategy there than Pokemon, and the game Marvel Snap just allows for more strategy, but it is kind of a different card game, so it's kind of hard to really compare it like at 100%. Anyways, yeah, if you like Pokemon, just download the game. You can collect the cards and still be fine. You don't necessarily
Yeah.
have to battle. It's just an extra thing. It will get you XP to level you up to get stuff to open your booster packs, but just don't take it serious. That's the best I can say. Just don't be too mad if someone just completely rolls you because
Mm,
they've spent money on the game. So pay to win. Um, yeah, and then the other game I've been playing is Dragon Age Veilguard. Um, the game's good. The game's good. Um, I think I did myself a disservice
mm-hmm.
of replaying Baldur's Gate 3 before jumping into this game, like immediately jumping into Dragon Age Veilguard. And it's like, it's really, really hard for me not to compare the writing in Baldur's Gate 3 versus the writing in Veilguard. And it's like, I think the writing in the Veilguard is good for what is happening,
Yeah.
but it's just, I feel like there's just more, what? More telling than showing that's happening in Veilguard. I mean, they do these like cool things to like kind of show you the history of Solus, who is like the main villain character in the game, which is cool, but I feel like I'm always being like presented with like kind of walls of text. I'm just like, I don't want to read this. Like, and then on the flip side, the combat is very much God of War inspired, but I don't think it works nearly as well as God of War does. And that is an issue in that like you're presented with these combat scenarios, combat challenges where it's just like if this was turn based, this would be fine.
Yeah.
And I'm a person who doesn't who doesn't like turn based. The only turn based game I've played is Baldur's Gate, and I'm just like I kind of wish this was turn based because like the lock on system is a little too strong, but then it uses the right stick to like switch people you lock on.
Yeah.
But because they throw so many people at you, you can lock on to someone and you lock on to
Accidentally.
the person behind the person that's in front of you. And I'm just like, I don't. This is not what I want. Like this is not fun. Um, on top of that, I really especially after the Concord stuff, I really don't want to be that person, but like I am not in love with the art style of these characters.
Yeah.
Like they and it's
Sexy
not even
sells.
like say what?
Sexy sells.
Yeah. It's not even that. Well, oh,
Oh.
okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. But like my issue is like I feel like my main character has a big head
Yeah.
and like a
Yeah.
small body, and then I look at like Solus, who is like the main the main villain character, or whatever. He looks like a normal person. He looks like a normal dude, and I'm like, that's cool. I want my character's head to be a little smaller so they look like a normal person, and it's just like I feel like all of the main characters that you get,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what race they are, they can be a dwarf or just a normal human or an elf or the horn thing or whatever. Their heads just look a little too big for their body. And it's just like, am I the only one seeing this? This is so weird. Anyways, I've been that's been my main gripes with the game. Overall, I am still playing it. I am enjoying my time with it, even though I'm calling out these gripes. Um, yeah, I mean, right now I don't really have a game that I'm Looking forward to probably not until Marvel Rivals, and even then, I'm kind of just like I don't really know about that. But yeah, so I'll probably beat this game, and hopefully it gets better for me. But we'll see. Yeah. Do you got anything else?
Nah.
No. Okay. Well, that's it. That's been another episode of Press Start Gamer Digest. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoy making it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Don't forget, if you are listening and not watching, can you please leave us a review on whatever podcast service you're currently tuned in on? Or, actually not or, and tell a friend. Tell a family member. Tell a person that you see right now next to you. You can be on the street. You can be on a bus, on a train. Just tell a person about a podcast. We appreciate it. Thank you. You have a good day. You have a good night, whatever time you're listening to this. Make sure you eat some food, drink some water, take a good nap, because boy, it's going to be a long one. I tell you what. See ya.